Welcome, everyone. This is session 2 of Airline Seishu's Incarnate Last of the Lacers campaign. We are here on Farid World Builders Twitch today and every day. And we're going to kind of pick up where we left off, but because the nature of this game is that we play a session every 2 weeks, and then in the time in between, we do kind of a text chat role-playing game in the Discord server. I'm going to give everybody, all of the players, a little chance to talk about what they have been doing, what they've gotten up to since we saw them last. So, when we last left off, they were given a ticket for airship passage to their next destination as a result of having completed some errands for Rosalie, the tavern owner. And I'm going to just take it in the order that they appear on my screen. So, Song, why don't you tell us what kind of happened with you after you got back to the inn, got the airship ticket, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Azkara.
Yes, I couldn't hear for a moment, so am I just saying what I did?
Yeah, go ahead. What has Azkara been up to since getting back to the tavern after your long day last session?
Cool, so Ascara's a mess. She had a conversation with Aspen where he gave her some beer, and she's never really drank just for fun before. It's always been like a Fire Nation tradition before battle or something, but never really just for fun. So she had a few too many drinks, got onto the airship, and kind of wanted to go to sleep immediately. Woke up, realized she had not slept through the whole ride, but was in fact awake, and had a little bit of a blow up talking to Riel because she's really terrified of everything that's happening and she doesn't know how to process it. And her and Riel had a little bit of a bonding moment, although she might think that he hates her. And yeah, now she's probably just gonna meet up with the group on the airship and try and get through this trip.
Okay. Aspen.
After venturing our way onto the ship and offering first dibs to the beds where we will be residing for the few days of travel, I eventually wander my way to the more social area to find some tea and walked along with Oki to apparently have some iceberg tea, he calls it.
Okay. Oki, how did that go for you?
So, okay, when he first arrived, was fascinated at the fact that there was a boat that could fly, as he's only ever seen them on the sea. So he taken that in, and as Aspen has already announced, we then had a good conversation, walked along, found out we could get anything we want, and had some iceberg tea, and sat down, and that's as far as we've got so far.
Okay. And finally, Riel.
Yes. So Riel was sort of he'd never been on an airship before, and he was very just kind of taking it in a bit overwhelmed at just and I think quiet. Sorry. So sorry. So he was kind of just taking it in and just sort of relaxing, but but as Carr mentioned, she sort of had a bit of a blow up. It was kind of directed at him, and he didn't know how to react. So he gave her he had given her like a mushroom to try to like help her out, like help calm her down or whatever. But he didn't really know how to react, so he tried to kind of reassure her. He has no idea if it worked. He feels pretty bad about the whole exchange, but he's still overall very excited, very eager to get on to whatever is next. Yeah.
Okay. And was there anything else that happened that I missed? Askara, you had offered to kind of recap whatever else happened in the chat for us.
I think we all did a good job, so I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So we are going to, as you guys are all kind of like hanging out on the airship, you heard an announcement over there's kind of like a loudspeaker system. It's basically just like these big brass pipes where the folks on the command deck can talk to all of the passengers at once. And while you were doing that, you hear an announcement that there's going to be a casino night, basically on this airship, just prior to your arrival at the Uganchampa monastery, which is your guys' final destination, but not the final destination of the airship. So we are going to move into that segment. You hear kind of a little chime through the PA system, and they say, attention passengers, the casino night is about to begin. If you'll all like to make your way to the main ballroom, the tables have been set up, and everyone is free to partake in, small games of chance.
I think I probably would have entered like the main area right as that was happening. So I probably kind of look around a bit startled at this main area, see, all this grand stuff, and try to scope out the area and find my group.
Okay.
OK makes his way there, hoping that they've got his favourite dice game that he likes to play in the taverns in his spare time.
Aspen will follow up behind, okay? Just kind of dazzled by all these strange decorations and assortment of items lying about him.
Okay. And as you walk in, you can see there are a bunch of different tables set up, all kinds of things, different types of games and or not different types of games. It seems like there's only really 3 games being played, but there are multiple tables for each game. And some of the games you would be playing kind of against each other, and other ones you would be playing with each other. So I had posted to the Discord a little website link for everyone about the rules of each of these games, but I'll go ahead and run them down for you now. And these games are taken from the Geek and Sundry website that Matt Mercer posted for one of his campaigns. So the first one is called Evangelist's Favor. It is a dice game, and essentially you're just going to roll 2d6, and if it adds up to a 7 or a 12, then you win. If you would like to, you can double your bet, and then you can roll 3d6 instead of 2d6. So it's, higher risk, more potential for reward. So that is the dice game. The second type of game that you see there is a kind of a card game that we are going to run with dice. So each of you would roll 1d8 and keep that hidden, so it would be in the tower. So only you and I would know what you got, and then you'd have a chance to raise or call or fold, Anybody not familiar with those terms from card games? Okay, I'm gonna take your
Sorry
silence
about
as
it.
consent.
Sorry.
So then each of you would additionally roll a 1d6. Final chance to raise, call, or fold, and then each of you rolls a 1d4. You all reveal your total of the 1d8, the 1d6, and the 1d4, and the winner takes 80% of the total, and the house takes the other 20. So it's basically just kind of high card draw style card game. And the third one is we're not going to go with lizards like he did. We're going to go with turtles. So it is a turtle race. They basically just have a big kind of like long pit lined up with sand, and there's like little divider walls forming little tracks, and there are turtles in little cages at one end, and there's a bunch of good leafy greens at the other end for the turtles as a reward. And essentially, you choose the turtle that you would like to bet on, and you can bet as much as you would like to on whether that turtle is going to win. And then I will roll a d4 3 times. The first, and kind of describe to you, how each turtle is doing, and the turtle with the highest roll total will win the race. First place, like if you bet on the first place winner, you will get double what you bet as winnings. If you bet on the second place turtle, you'll get half of your bet back. If you bet on the third through fifth place turtle, you will get nothing. You'll just lose your money.
Right.
Everybody okay with those rules and this concept of these 3 games?
That
Yes.
sounds good to me.
Yep.
Okay. So where would you like to go?
I think as Carl probably approach, if Aspen and Oki are together, she'll go close up to them, and you'll see she has the mushroom that Riel gave her. She's still kind of like chewing on it. It's pretty like leathery, so she's biting off hunks of that, and she still looks a little groggy. She's had a couple of drinks here wearing off now, but she looks maybe like she woke up from a nap, and she heads up to them and is kind of saying, do we have to do this? I mean, what we need our money for other things. I mean, Riel gave me this mushroom, and I feel like it's got some sense into me, and this just seems frivolous.
Well, we don't have to take part if we don't want to. You can sit out, but I'm sure some of us here would like to take part.
Yep. We'll have that Oki is immediately like kind of moving towards the closest dice game table.
I think around then, Ria would have, he would have kind of heard the message and kind of gotten up and figured, all right, I should probably get up and walk around. So he figured he'd go and play some games. So he comes in and he's like, all right, who's ready to lose some money?
Yeah, and again, this whole participation in this is purely voluntary. You do not have to play. I just, I figured it would be fun because you're on this big luxury voyage if we had like a little, thing like this. So you do not have to participate.
Yeah.
You don't know when she got away from you, but Song is being dragged back into this room by engineering again.
Oh,
It's being
no.
eaten down at the turtle table, and she just crosses her arms and sulks at that table.
Good to see you again, Song. Been wandering around again.
I think that's something that we call around here Nunya.
Nanya? What's that?
Nunya business.
Well
Ah.
played.
She's a jokester.
my fault that they are uncannily sharp.
Well, they gotta keep some measures about this place, I suppose.
But I mean, hey, on the bright side, turtles.
And it seems like the easiest gambling spot to start at.
I already know which one's the fastest. I already know.
Okay, so as you walk over, I'm sorry guys, I don't have pictures for this really, but there are 5 turtles in these lanes. They're kind of in their starting cages. They all are. They seem pretty much exactly the same. Like you really can't tell the difference between them, except that somebody has taken just like paint and just painted a number on the top of each one's shell, just 1 through 5. So the turtles are there. They're kind of trainers are there. Giving them like massages and like blessing them with little incense and things, like trying to get the turtles psyched up as much as you can do that kind of thing with a turtle. This is supposed to be ridiculous if you haven't picked that up yet. So feel free to form attachments and bond with these turtles in the next 2 minutes until the actual race starts. Anybody have any any winners they're picking?
Number 4.
I was gonna go with number 4 too.
Number 5. Number 5's giving Oki the eye.
What if we each bet on a different horse? I mean, turtle.
You could do that. I'm taking number 2 then.
Oh crap! I was gonna take number 2. Okay, 3. I take 3.
Oki's number 5. Feels like 5's flirting with him.
As Kara's just like skirting the group as they're betting.
Come on, Azkara. Come on. Bet on horse turtle number 1. Bet on turtle number 1. The peer pressure stops when you give in.
Hey, the 1 does come first before all the other numbers.
Yeah, number 1 for number 1.
She like chews on her mushroom tentatively that she still has, and she kind of like looks over the group and realizes that like she needs to get along with them, so she kind of like nods very slowly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So if everyone has chosen their turtle that they would like to wager on, next you need to select how much you're going to bet. There is no minimum here. It's just whatever you want.
Just to keep
Do we
things
do that
simple
from the
and
party
easy.
sheet? Or from inventory?
From your
Where do we do that
inventory.
from?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll put in 4 gold to start off with.
Whoa!
4. Oh.
Well, it's just gold coins.
Okay, looks at Aspen with a very strange look, like you live dangerously.
Song has this greedy expression on her face.
I didn't even know I was living on the edge.
That's the most unedged thing I've ever heard.
You see, I was thinking 1 silver piece, but now raised the bar.
Well, now I just feel awkward to wager anything less.
Yeah, like he's raised the bar. Aspen, let's do this.
Oh,
Uh,
never knew I had that influence on people.
4
I
gold
think,
pieces.
All right. So
You see Ascara
to
just
commit
look in her pouch. Oh, sorry.
to commit your wager, you are going to type in the chat in one single message. You're going to type, the number sign and then the number of your turtle. So like, number 1 or number 2 or whatever, and then spacebar hyphen spacebar, and then the amount that you are betting. So that way nobody can back out.
Number.
oh man.
Can you repeat that or type that? Oh wait, I'll see.
Yeah, so Oki gave you a good
Okay.
example there.
Thank you.
I put
Keep
4
in
gold
mind,
pieces
you will
on
lose
number
this money.
5.
Like, you're not getting this back. This isn't for fake money. This is your actual money that you're betting.
I was about to say, what does the payout look like on each of these turtles? Like, what are the odds? But
To be fair, we don't deal with much money in the polar region, so I normally trade in fish.
oh my god!
Ascara puts her in like the least amount of money she can. She just like drops 1 piece in, 1 silver piece, and just
So
looks at everyone like, "You're not getting me."
we don't have to match it if we don't want. Or we can just.
You can put whatever amount you want.
Oh, okay. So I've never.
Yeah,
I've
you
never
can.
bet
I
on-
mean, you could bet 1 copper if you want. Like, it doesn't
Oh,
matter to me.
okay. I was confused. I didn't
I
know.
don't have any-
Like, do I have to get matches like other
No.
matches?
I don't
Okay.
have small bills.
Oki's competitive spirit came out. Plus,
Trying
like I
to
said,
think,
number
like,
5.
4 gold would probably get you like an entire barrel of fish. I'm just like,
Well, you know, like at the moment, Oki's not thinking about this. He's not used to dealing with money, so
Oh, same with Aspen.
Oki's just thinking that number 5 gate has a sparkle in its eye, and he's going for it.
Oh wait, no, I said turtle number 2, didn't I? My bad. Sorry. I'm just gonna retype that
I
quickly.
could take 2 if you're feeling
you can
bored.
both take the same turtle too. That's
Okay.
fine.
Sure, let's take the same turtle.
That's a lot of gold on that turtle. That turtle better win.
now let's rig the race.
All right.
Can I ask one of the like? Can I I would want to ask one of the what did you call the people that were like attendant to the turtles? The trainer.
the trainers, yeah.
Yeah, I would want to ask like what's number 3's name?
Speedy.
Perfect. All right.
That's the turtle secret, Captain. They're all named Speedy.
They all have equally ridiculous names. Like it's Speedy and Lightning and other very fast things.
Not just lightning, it's space lightning.
This is. I feel an intense race coming. Oki is now eye level, waiting, staring at number 5.
You like stoop
Okay.
down on your hands, like on the edge of the
Yes,
table.
like at the edge of the table, just waiting for this game to start.
Aspen's probably just enjoying everyone's competitive spirit at this point.
All right. Are you
Ascara,
guys ready?
Like, dropped in her 1 piece and is like spinning around the rest of the room, looking like she's taking everything, and she bet her money, but now she's just kind of like absent-mindedly like looking everywhere.
Okay. And as you guys are kind of finishing up and placing your bets, a couple of attendants kind of like push everybody back from the table to prevent any kind of interference or anything like that. 2 of them looking very strongly towards Song.
Just hands up, kind of like, I get it. I get it.
Like
Still,
they're very polite, but they're also very firm that like you're not gonna touch these turtles. Okay, and with that, one of the folks by the starting line rings a bell, and the little cage doors open, and the turtles start kind of plodding through the
We're
channels.
out in a bunch.
Come on, Speedy, come on.
Oki is like literally shouting, like number 5, number 5.
To represent how slow these turtles are, I have to now roll dice for each one of them, so bear with me.
Yep.
Alright.
We're just like.
Ascara's just like,
we're
she's not even watching the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, Ascara's not even watching the turtles. She's watching all her new friends just go crazy, and she just has like this like quizzical kind of like, what is wrong with these people? She's just watching all of y'all go crazy. She's not even looking at the turtles.
So every so often, like at the beginning, Song is like pumped about this turtle race, and then as time goes on, she's like, yeah, Okay, attention span.
All right, the turtles are approaching the third marker of the race because there's like 3 markers. Right, the first one, the second one, and the finish line. And as they approach, turtle number 3 is in the lead,
Hell yeah.
followed closely by
No.
turtle number 5.
Turtle 5!
Turtles 1 and 4 are tied for 3rd place, and turtle number 2 is way behind.
He's just muttering under his breath, like, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Okay, it's literally got that much energy that no one can understand where it's coming from. He's shouting. He's as loud as possible as he possibly could be at this moment.
I'm just trying to motivate my turtle, like, you're doing good, Turtle 4.
Come on, Turtle 4. Mama needs new shoes.
Mama can hold off on the shoes for now.
See, here's the funny thing is that if I hadn't spent the gold and the silver, I probably could have gotten my own shoes.
Ascara
Alright.
has realized how long this is taking, and she's like wandered off, got a chair, brought it back, and like is sitting in it.
It is a
she's,
turtle
like,
race,
pulled the
guys.
chair
It is a
over.
turtle race. This is not a fast happening.
She's like, this is.
Oh, no.
Now she's just sitting, like, just there.
All right, as the turtles approach the second line, we have Turtle 3 and Turtle 5 now tied for 1st place.
Wow.
Turtle 1 and Turtle 4 tied for 2nd place. And Turtle 2, again, all the way behind.
Oh, good thing
Poor
that
Turtle 2.
Watch Turtle 2 just like make it in the final lap.
Yeah, all the other turtles just get low numbers while Turtle 2 gets the biggest.
Come on, Turtle 2. Turtle 2? Turtle 5. If you win, I'll let you swim in my bending water. No, lacing water. Sorry, my bad.
Wouldn't that be a bit much for the poor turtle?
I'm just excited.
Okay, I don't know if your turtle has the air bending prowess that I think my turtle is the air lacing prowess that my turtle is representing right now.
All right, the turtles are coming up to the finish line. Does anyone want to double their bet?
I've already put quite a bit
Yes.
on the table.
Song looks for the
I will
disembodied
double my
voice
bet.
and says, "Why would I do that?"
Okay, is like being that loud that he can't even hear the person asking the question.
So I'm going to take that as a no. Okay, the final results
Wait,
are...
I said I would. Oh,
Oh, you will?
yeah, I said I would.
Okay, so
I
go ahead and
need
type
to-
double in
in
the
a-
chat then.
Okay.
All right, so the final results are turtle number 5 is the winner.
Nice.
Oki is like,
Okay.
I'm assuming frothing at the mouth and falling down or something.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
much barrels of fish.
Well, yeah, woo! Go 5! I knew you had a twinkle in your eye.
Okay, so Oki,
Well done,
you
turtle
wagered
number
4
5.
gold. You will get 8 gold.
Awesome. So add 4 gold to my.
That's exactly what I was.
Okay, tied for 2nd place, we have turtles 3 and 4. So you guys will
Wow.
get half of your gold back.
All right.
Noise.
Nice.
So Riel, you're just staying where you are.
Okay.
Uh-oh, I made bad math decisions.
In 3rd place and losing all of their money are the people who bet on turtles number 1 and 2.
Oh.
It's okay, Ascara. You'll win next time.
She's just sitting there, stone faced, kind of just like realizing exactly why she didn't want to do this.
And the number 5, he just gunned it near the end. And that last stretch, I don't know what happened.
That turtle's got some groove.
That it does.
Number 5. Okay,
All
it
right.
literally just feels like he's floating on a cloud right now.
So as they go over and they give the turtles their nibbles and go to reset the game, we can play this game again, or we have 2 other games that we can play that don't have to. It's entirely up to you guys.
Do any of the other games have turtles?
They do not.
I think OK might try a hand at playing the dice game.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yep.
anybody else?
Over.
Yeah, it's good to get a bit of a variety in here. I'll join OK in this dice game.
Yeah, Rio will join both of them.
Okay.
Ascara just picks up her chair and follows the group. Like, she's not gonna play, but she just picks it up and just keeps following the group
Just
with her
people
chair.
watching the rest of the party.
Yeah, but I'm actually gonna be right back. So I'm just gonna do the thing at the top with my character. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So she'll just be sitting, watching, observing. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So anybody else that would like to play the dice game? This game is simpler than the turtle race. There's no rolling on my part, which makes it easy for me. You are going to roll. You're going to state the amount of your bet and type that in the chat, and then you're going to roll 2d6, which you can do by picking up the d6 at the bottom of the table there, and then while you're holding it with the left mouse, click the right mouse button once, and that'll make it 2 of them. So why doesn't everybody just do that for me now, just as a tester? Pick up the d6 from the bottom. While you're holding down that left mouse button, click the right mouse button to make 2d6, and then drop that into the chat, just so I can see you know how to do it.
Ooh.
Okay.
Look at that. That's a winning number. Oh, sorry.
So you
That was
need
just
to
a test,
get.
right?
That was just a test. So now that you know how to do this, the rules are you're going to type in your bet in the chat, and then you're going to roll 2d6. If it adds up to a 7 or a 12, you win. You can also double your bet, and then click that dice button one more time to roll 3d6 instead of 2d6, and it's still a 7 or a 12. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so everybody go ahead and type in what they want to bet, and then if they're going to double or not.
Okay.
All right, I have four players. Go ahead and roll those dice.
Ah.
Oh, the dealer is very apologetic as he takes all of your money.
I'm sure you're apologetic. Yeah.
Would you like to play again?
Oh.
One more time. Let's go for it.
Yeah, one more. Okay.
Make
was on
sure
a
you
winning
mark
streak.
off
Now
all
he's-
this. Make sure you mark this money in your character sheets first, and then go ahead and put up your bets.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a 10 to 10, right? Like the ratio. It's like a 10-1.
Yeah, like 10 copper is a silver,
cool.
and 10 silver is a gold.
Okay, just make sure.
Okay, Song's doubling down this time. Go ahead and roll those dice.
Yeah.
We have 3 winners
Whoa.
this time,
Wow.
folks.
Man, that's just
So, Oki, you get twice your bet back.
Right.
So that'll be 10 silver.
Yep,
Song.
10 silver, so that's 20 silver.
Song, you get 4 silver.
Woo!
And Aspen, you get 4 silver.
All right.
Riel, you get the thumbs up from the dealer.
yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to play again?
Song is feeling good. She made a silver at the table.
Okay, feeling that he's won both games. He's done with this game just now.
Riel, do you wanna try to win this one? I'll stick around with you.
Okay, so I think as Kara's been watching this game, she's actually played quite a bit of dice, in her time as a god, and so she's, watching and stuff, but she looks at the dice that are there, and maybe goes to play, motions to the person running the game that she's gonna play, but she pushes aside the die that are there and pulls out her own little pouch of die. Can I do that, Caroline? I have like my own pouch of die, and I want to use those. And I'm just like look at the person motion to the die and just kind of like nod, like I'm using these. Don't care.
Okay, so they will let you play with your dice, but they need to see them. They need to inspect them first. So they're gonna take them and they're gonna put them on a scale and like float them in some water and see if they're like, if they're weighted.
Weighted. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So are they?
I don't know. They're just like, I would say, maybe she started off with a very sketchy die, but she's played for a very long time, as in like it's kind of a tradition in her town guard community. So I think maybe somebody gave her a better set that is like regulation, and like it's probably like the nicest thing she has besides her weapons.
Okay, so they're not cheaty dice.
They're
Not cheating dice. They're like real dice.
No. Yeah, they're fine.
Okay. So they hand them back to you. And you can go ahead and everybody place your bets.
All right.
Sorry, because I stepped away for a second. Can you just remind me what I'm doing?
You're just going to type in the chat if you want to, like how much you want to bet. And that's going to be if you roll 2d6. If you want to double the bet that you make, you can roll 3d6.
Okay. So I bet the exact same way. I just type in how much I'm betting.
Yep, correct.
Okay. So slash and then the amount.
Oki's sitting scratching his hand at the moment. Like, so wanting to play another hand. So he's currently debating.
Oh. I don't know what happened
Oh.
there.
I would play. Gonna throw in 2 silver pieces.
Yeah, I typed in my thing, but I think it did something else. I'll try again. One. Okay.
Hooray for peer pressure! I was going to roll this time.
Oh, Oki's doubling.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oki, flush with victory, is ready to put down some cash.
Yeah, he's overconfident at the moment.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
Oh boy.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll those dice, folks.
How do I roll two? How do I roll two at
Wow.
once? Do I
You
just
pick
drag
up the die on the
twice?
bottom, and then while you're holding it with the left mouse, click the right mouse button, or
Just do it
actually
twice.
you can just right click the d6, and it'll come up and it'll say like 2 times, 3 times, so you can just roll the 2 times
Oh,
button.
okay, I see it.
Okay, we do have one winner this round. Song, you're gonna get 2 silver.
Nice.
Yay!
Aspen, Riel, as Kara, you are not going to get any money. And Oki, you're going to lose 12 silver, which is 1 gold and 2 silver.
Ooh.
So I lose my silver that I put in.
Oh,
then?
oh, sorry. I
Yes.
must have. Is it 10 silver pieces to a gold?
Yes.
All right. Well, I put it up to 20. I put it up to 20, but then I've removed 12 silver pieces, so I'm still at the same amount as what I should be. I'll just
Okay.
remember that for future. But Oki slaps his leg in frustration of losing.
Okay. Anyone like to play again?
Oki's done.
I think.
Walks away.
Yeah, I think Ascara's just like, well, I like dice, but no, we don't play with money. So she just like takes her dice back out, and is just like fiddling with them, and just, yeah, she's done.
Okay. There is one more game. We can play it, or we don't have to. It's entirely up to you guys. You can be done with the casino if you'd like to be. Each to whatever you want.
Ah, I'd like to play the last game.
Oh, Oki feeling like he's won the 2 other ones. He's gonna try this last one.
I was gonna do one more at the last one, just so he at least can say he tried all 3.
Yeah.
Cara
Okay.
does the same thing with her chair. She sees everyone moving, she just stands up, picks up her chair, and just moves it. Goes along.
And grab your dice.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in this one, this is a card game, and you're actually going to be playing against each other. So whoever wants to play, you are going to. This one does have a buy-in. It's 1 silver. So everybody's going to start with 1 silver on the table if they want to play.
All right.
All right.
For now, you're going to just put your 1 silver on
Ascara's
the
kind of
table, so I know
watching
you
the
want to play.
game. Yeah, Ascara's kind of watching to see like if everyone else is playing, because at this point
Oh.
she's kind of done everything with everyone, so she's like, oh, maybe I should do this, but I don't really want to, but she's gonna
Oh.
do it.
Aww.
You do not have to. Oh my gosh, I'm not forcing you guys to start gambling.
No, I know, no, but this is like in character. This is exactly like
Okay.
this is like exactly what she would do. Like, yeah, this is what she would do it begrudgingly.
Okay, all right. So next, what you are going to do is you're going to roll a d8 in the tower.
Which one is the D8? Please remind me.
It's the one next to the d6.
Okay.
I do the right one. Oh yeah, I did. It says.
Okay. I am going to whisper these results to you real quick.
So, just a quick recap. I take it the. Oh.
Crap, the whisper isn't
I'm
working.
sorry, where are we looking for the results? Oh.
Hmm.
It's okay, we're professionals. We can pretend we don't know.
Well, you actually
And I
don't
take
know
it-
right
just-
now.
Just to confirm, the point of this one's to get the highest number. Is that correct?
Well, the point is to have the best hand at the end. So let's. I'm going to. 4, 5. Yes, I do have all you. In Discord chat. One moment. So. I'm going to private message you your result in Discord chat instead.
Okay.
Okay.
So the point of this is you're all being handed a card and you're like keeping it to yourself because you're gonna bet based on what you have.
And is this going to be more like, in a sense, like poker, where it's like doubles and things like that, or?
Yeah. So after everybody gets their first hand results, you'll be able to raise, or you can stay where you are, or you can fold and just bow out of the game.
Okay.
And are we trying to get to a specific number?
You just
Like
need to
in
be the highest
blackjack,
one at
like
the
is it-
table.
Ah, right. So you have to have the highest number by the end of by the end of all rolls, right?
Correct. Yeah. So each of you should have your result from me now,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and now you can raise or call or fold. And just private message me back on Discord, or no, you know what? Just put in the chat here if you want to raise or call or fold, because everybody can see whether or not each of you is betting more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does fold mean again? Fold is just that you're staying where
you're
you
just
are?
out. Fold is you're just out.
Oh, completely out.
Like you're just walking away from the
so
table.
what is I want to? Oh,
If
what
you
if I
wanna
want to
stay
stay
where you are,
but I want
that's
to
call.
not bet anymore? Okay.
Okay. Everybody, go ahead and roll a d6.
In chat or
Yeah, in the
tower?
tower.
Okay. Staring at everybody while keeping his cards close to his chest.
This car probably has the facial expression that song wants. She's just like completely deadpan.
Okies currently just keeps flipping his two cards side to side, mixing them up at the moment.
Okay. All of you should have your results now. Yes.
Yep.
And one final round. This time it's a you can raise, call, or fold, and then we're gonna roll a d4.
Well, that was fun.
Okay, he's just
Alright.
giving Aspen the eye because he notices he's matching up bets.
As Kara
Alright.
sees them putting in more money, and she just like looks at either of them and like rolls her eyes. What are you doing?
Okay. So go ahead and roll that d4, everyone, in the tower.
So wait, when you raise, do you add to the total amount?
You're adding to the pot on the table.
Okay.
Sorry, which is D4? I'm not used to dice when I'm seeing them like
It's
this.
the triangle one on the far right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, top-down dice look very weird.
Yeah.
Come on, Lady Luck.
Ooh.
All right. Those of you who are still in the game, what is your total? Go ahead and type it in the chat.
My total? Okay.
Your dice total from your 3 rolls that I sent you.
15.
Oh, okay. So
Wait.
Oh!
Oh,
As Kara with the last minute
Wow.
win flips him over.
dang.
oh,
And me and Oki are just confidently putting silver on the table.
Probably like, it's probably like the
Dang.
biggest smile you've seen her smile. She's still like very quiet, but she just like takes her money, however much money she gets, and just like smiles very like, it's almost like she's not expecting herself to smile. So as soon as she realized she's like excited about this game she didn't want to play, she like and like makes herself like stone faced again.
It's all fun when you're winning, right?
Rio,
Yeah.
Rio would like
that
point
was
at her. He would like point at her and be like, "Yeah, you are dangerous."
Okay, just says now that's a poker face.
All right. So all of you, whatever you bet, you have lost, except for Azkara. You get 16 silver pieces
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah.
because the house has to take their cut.
Huh,
1,
pretty impressive.
7.
Okay, cool.
Okay, realizes he should have stopped betting 2 games ago.
I mean, you can go back to the turtles. They'll do another race if you want.
I'm going for another race. I'm calling Turtle 2 this time.
Rio's just gonna grab a drink. at the
Yeah,
box.
okay, sitting in the corner of the room now, just kind of slumped.
All right. Does anyone want to play this game or any other game anymore, or are we done?
All of my yes. This game. All of my yes.
Song is determined.
Oh no. Okay, looks up and sees that everybody's heading towards the turtle table and now starts to feel that urge come over him again.
We call this a problem.
I think because Ascara has won like so much more money, she's gonna play with Song specifically. Yeah,
Oh,
she's gonna play again with Song,
okay.
the card game.
Okay.
Because like Song is so like she's so like gung ho that she wants to win again, and Ascara's just kind of like, well, I'll play so you can win. Like she's just kind of like, I guess we'll do this. I have money now, so cool.
All right. So who wants to play what?
I want to play the turtle game.
The turtle race. Okay. And how about the card game
Yeah.
or the dice game?
In it for the card game.
Card
Playing
game.
against Azkara because she is good at this.
Because he's just sipping on like some kind of drink or something, some kind of alcohol or something. I guess if they have that on hand, it's just kind of
Yeah,
watching.
they have literally anything you could want, food or drink wise, like within reason. You know. This is a luxury cruise ship here.
So, and Oki's just sitting flicking his last silver piece that he has in his fingers, thinking, and walks over to Aspen at the turtle game and decides he's going to bet.
Good luck, Oki.
Turtle game done him well. He won 8 gold in the last one. So let's do this.
I'm just gonna ask one of the people who's running the games if I could exchange a gold for 10 silver pieces.
You can. They'll do that.
Alright.
All right. So who's playing the turtle game?
That would be okay.
Aspen is playing.
Okay. Go ahead and place your turtle bets.
Do we have strangers playing with us this time?
You do. There are 5 people playing any given game. So
Okay.
Come on, number 5. Don't let me down.
Going for the good old number 5 again.
Yeah, he's got that twinkle. Don't make me waste my last silver piece.
It's kind of it hasn't quite hit me just yet that this is your last silver piece, so I'm still kind of like hovering over it.
It's okay. I've got 14 gold. I'm just using my last of my change.
Oh,
Remember, I won 8 gold. So I'm just using my silver pieces now.
Oh wow.
you made me so nervous there.
The last dime.
The song was like this close to being like, Oki,
Sit down.
this is an intervention.
okay. So we have in the turtle race, round 1. When they get to that first marker, turtles number 3 and 4 are in the lead, and the other 3 are well behind.
Oh no.
Still
Come on,
plenty of
number
time left to go in this
5.
game, folks.
Let's do this. Oh, Alyssa's.
Ooh.
Oh, number 5. Come on, number 5. Okay, being a little bit less enthusiastic than the first time he was here doing this game.
All right, coming up to that second marker, we have number 3 pulling a little bit ahead. Number 4 is in second place. Numbers 1 and 5 are tied for third, and number 2, again, the slowest of turtles.
Oh boy.
Come
I
on,
probably need
number
to take care of
5.
poor number 2. He doesn't seem to be doing well. Or he's just not motivated at the moment.
Maybe he's sick.
I'll ask if I can take a look at him after this.
Yeah.
I want to roll a perception check. How well is turtle number 2 looking?
It looks like a turtle. They're all completely
not
identical
sick or
except for
anything?
the numbers on them. No, he just doesn't really
Oh
care.
boy.
You can see that he kind of has a runny nose. No.
All right, and the finals of the turtle race. Turtle number 4 comes in first place. Turtle number 3 comes in second place. And you guys both lose your money.
There
Okay, just kind of like flicks his 1 silver piece at the dealer and walks away.
All right.
They're
We have a
sitting
card game to
Sit
play.
Indeed.
Who is playing cards? Just as Kara and Song?
Kara and Song.
I am, yeah.
Okay, so it's 1 silver buy-in.
What you want?
There are 5 players at this table. And go ahead and roll your d8 in the tower. All right, you've got your cards. Raise, call, or fold.
As Ascara's playing this, she's like the whole time she's basically just looking right at Song, and like it's not really a specific it's not like a challenging expression. It's just like she's looking like, hey, we're playing this together, kind of, as best as she can.
Yeah. So Song, I feel like Song would see that you're like doing this whole like empathizing thing, and she's just like, wow, I kind of couldn't read you before, but now I'm feeling this is feeling good. This is feeling close. So she gives you kind of like this a smile that you haven't seen on her yet. She actually almost seems shy, not brash anymore, but just kind of like, okay, this is real now. Oh no. Oh no, I have to be a real person in front of people.
All right, go ahead and roll those d6s.
Now that this is like the last round, Ascara will look at Song and just do like a little like nod, like we're good kind of thing. It's the one nod.
All right, go ahead and roll those d4s.
Song grins back at her, kind of like, yeah, I can get used to this, yeah. This is good. Like, the spirit of competition is gone from her, she's just doing this to have fun at this point.
Rio's eyes just like flitting back and forth between the two. Like he's like, oh man, this is intense. Whoa. Like he doesn't like pick up on their like friendly thing. He's like, oh man, somebody's gonna get part of.
Oh, he thinks I'm just like death staring her down.
He's just like, oh man, yeah. Like he's like, man, this is
Song looks
intense.
like she's baring her teeth.
Yeah. Like we're not reading it the way they're like actually interacting.
All right, what are your totals, ladies?
So total in the chat.
All right, the other three players have 8, 10, and 4, respectively. So, Song, you are the winner, and you are going to take... You're going to take 12 silver pieces away from this table.
Song gives 6 to Azkara, along with reaching out her hand for a handshake.
I think Ascara will accept that just because she feels pretty good about that, but she's kind of like she was already kind of getting up to walk away, not like in like a rude way, like she probably just nodded and walked away. So Song would have like caught her and like you know probably like pulled her arm back and like slipped that money and kind of like that dad handshake at like your birthday where there's like money in the handshake and you're like what? And so she gets the money and she'll pocket it. How much did you say it was?
6 silver, right? Yeah, 6 silver.
Yeah, so she's gonna put that in like you'll see her put that in not actually her like pouch in like her pocket. And when she was walking away, she was going right over to Oki because she saw everything happening. And she goes over to Oki and she's essentially doing the same thing but much more forceful. So she goes over to Oki is basically like towering over him. I don't know if he's sitting or standing or what he's doing, but she'll go up to Oki, grab his arm, basically force it open, and she has like her pouch there, and she takes out 10 silver pieces and forces them into his hand, and just like gruffly pushes his hand down. Like she's not taking no for an answer. She's being very forceful. But it's very much from her pouch and not from the pocket of what like Song gave her.
And Oki is sitting there trying to close his hand, like, yet somehow can't do it while looking. Like, what's going on? I just won. I've only lost, 2 gold. I gained 8. So in the respective, I won 6 gold. I don't need this.
Song's like just from a distance, like thumbs up, like yeah.
I
But
think like
Ascara
Ascara's
overpowers him.
definitely. Yeah, she overpowers him, but in her mind, it's not that he lost a lot of money. It's that like he lost his his like he was so excited at the beginning, and then he like slowly declined, and that is kind of what she's giving him the money more to like cheer him up. It's not that he lost money. It's just like, hey, like, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Oki's hand gets closed, and then he has he starts smiling, like with a slight smile on his face. Kind of looks like he's kind of went back to his normal kind of self.
Yeah, and as soon as Ascara does this, like, because it's so forceful and quick that it's almost like she doesn't know what she's doing. It's like an impulse. So as soon as she does it, she'll just be like, hey, and then she'll say, hey, go, and then realize what she's done. And it's not like she's upset that she's given you money. It's just she realize that she's grabbed your arm and stuffed money in it. And she'll get very, like, awkward all of a sudden, drop your hand, and very quickly go off to like the bar area, and she's just gonna ask for just like a glass of water.
Okay,
And she
it is
kind of like
provided to
sulks
you.
off.
Anyone else have
Yeah.
any interest in playing any more games? I think this might be a good time for us to kind of bring this section to a close and also take a 10-minute break. What do you guys think?
Yep, I'm done playing games.
Yeah.
I might want to try my hand one more time at the card game.
Okay. So let us go ahead and we're going to take that 10-minute break right now. And when we come back, we'll play one final round of games for anybody that wants to, and then we'll move on, okay?
All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay. We are back. And somebody wanted to play another round, or...
Aspen would like to play another round.
Okay, which game?
The card game, if I may.
Okay. So that is a 1 silver buy-in.
Would anyone else like to join me?
Okay, he's itching to, but he just received money off the Ascara and feels it's time for him to settle down. He's in a good mood now,
Alright.
doesn't get in a worse mood.
Okay, so there will be 4 other players at the table. There's always 5 players at each table, so... and I just control them. So you're betting against the room at this point. So go ahead and if you're ready to play and nobody else wants to, go ahead and roll that D8.
Can I just roll it in chat since I'm the only one who's playing?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, and would you like to raise, call, or fold?
I think I'll call it.
Okay, go ahead and roll that d6.
All right. Hmm. I think I will raise by 3 silver pieces.
Okay. Okay, there is a lot of money on this table right now. Sorry. Your other
Wow.
betters
Okay.
are feeling good. And go ahead and roll the d4.
Okay.
And what's your total?
I'll just call it there. That's a 13, I believe. Wait, that was the last time. Never mind. Don't call.
Okay. So you are not going to win. There were two of them that were tied at 16.
Ah, so close.
So that will be that for that game. Would you like to play again? Would you like to play something else? Would anyone else like to play anything?
I think I'm good for tonight. I'll just buy a beer and head on out.
Okay. Anyone else, or are we all good?
Nope.
Now, Romeo's just getting that nice
Yeah, I'm good.
bar. That's all he's been doing.
Okay. So at the end of the casino night on the airship, everybody's directed into the main dining room, and you're served your great meal. From the itinerary of this trip that you'll be arriving at the monastery first thing in the morning, probably around like 10 a.m. is when you'll actually be able to debark. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys want to hang out and chat a little bit for the evening, you can over dinner, or if you just want to go back to your rooms and get some rest, you can do that too.
Well, I'm pretty hungry. I don't know about you guys, but I would like to grab something to eat at the table.
Yeah, I could go with for some seal jerky. So
Oh,
I think I'll go grab myself some dinner with Aspen. Yeah, Aspen, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I probably head to the dinner table too. As Kara, she had her drinks, then she kind of sobered up. She had that mushroom from Riel. So at this point, she's just like has that like post-drunken, like super hunger. So she heads off to the dining table. And as soon as she gets there, they're handing food, I'm sure lots of stuff, but she is just shoveling it down. She's not talking to anyone, just shoveling food down.
you've got quite the appetite there, Azakara.
She nods
Song
her
would-
head.
Song would look at her, look back at Aspen, and say, "Looks kind of normal to me."
Oh,
As she stuffs dinner rolls into her pockets.
No, but seriously. Wait, you aren't stealing dinner rolls? That's what they're for. For when you get hungry later.
Uriel figures he should get something else on his stomach other than what he's been drinking, so he sits down and yeah.
Okay, it's just chewing on his jerky.
Yeah,
Well,
Estrell's
guys.
like in that, like she's in that total like speed mode where it's like I'm gonna eat, and as soon as she's done, she like puts her dishes down and like gets up and goes to bed. She probably like waves to the group and is like, "Okay, bye," and then like goes to bed because she just
Whoa.
like needed to refuel. Like, and in her mind, it's not rude at all because she's so used to that kind of like militant, like a mess hall almost, where you go, you eat after training, and then you go,
Yeah.
sleep. So she just thinks it's totally normal. So she's like
Wow.
gets up, doesn't say anything, and like leaves.
And Oki says
Have a
she
good
lives as
rest.
fast as she eats.
Well, this was a rather fun and interesting night, wouldn't you say?
I would, successful. I think we all had a pretty good time.
I mean, it could have been better,
Oh, maybe you just had better luck than the rest of us.
Uh,
Yeah, Oki, I can't believe you picked the right turtle the first try. How?
secret is all in their eyes. It's all in their eyes. In the polar region, we see lots of turtles. I know what turtle to look out for.
I just boosted it along with his waterbending. I watched him.
No, Oki. Shameful.
I am an honourable person. I would never cheat in a game. This is all just
I-
pure knowledge.
I'm just kidding. That turtle won fair and square.
But
It's actually a little bit more disappointing than finding out that he was cheating with waterbending. That was cool.
secret, but it's all about look at their legs. Well, I could swear to you, number 5 had just that extra millimeter in length. I believe that anyway.
Oh, it had a longer stride.
It did
Okay.
not. This is
Yeah.
all just in your head. They were identical turtles.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out, number 3, he got second place both times, so really he's kind of more the MVP. But it's fine.
See, five just didn't want to win the next time. I had a little
He
work.
didn't want
Well, there
to,
is
right.
something. There is something to be said about consistent behavior in turtles. Is there? That felt weird coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, turtles are pretty consistent. They are in the polar region anyway, I think. Yeah, well, I agree with you, Song. As he says very unsurely.
Song just kind of like looks confused for a bit at what she had just said, but then at your reassurance, just kind of like nods, like, yeah, it's about the consistent turtle.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody says that somewhere at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure I read that in a scroll somewhere. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely encourage this behavior.
Mm.
You got any more of them song-isms or whatever? I like the turtle.
I guess that's one of them now. Well, here's one. And she puts down her utensils and seems very serious right now. Says, "Don't steal anything you can't pay back later."
Or, okay replies, don't steal.
I must say, I much prefer Okay's option.
And some of us don't have any other options. Well, I'm waxing philosophical, and I probably shouldn't be.
Well, it's hard out there. I make my money on mushrooms. I don't know if I told you all about it. All sorts of different varieties of mushrooms. And I make a pretty good amount on it. But sometimes are harder than others. Different seasons. I make a lot less. But me and Juno, we just try our best.
Well, speaking of mushrooms, Do you have any that goes well with seal jerky?
Hmm. You know what? Riel just like looks deep in thought for a minute, like it looks like he's gonna respond, but he's like still like just deep in thought, like he's just thinking.
Loki kind of stares for a little while and realizes that Riel is gone and just goes back to his meal.
Hey, well, it's been a lovely afternoon and a lovely meal. I'm just going to check in on Azukara and then hitting the bed. Aspen just picks up his drink, finishes, and excuses himself from the table.
Song too makes a big show of yawning and stretching and says, yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the hay too. She starts walking distinctly and not the direction of the rooms for sleeping.
Oh boy.
Here we go again. Loki finishes up his meal and waves his hand in front of Riel to see if he can see him.
What? Huh? What?
Yeah. Sorry, Riel. I think everybody's hitting the hay. Song's taking
yeah.
the long way. So.
Right. A long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get back to you on the. I'll finish my food. I'm just gonna hit the hay as well. Yeah.
All right. You all make it back to your room, and like maybe a minute and a half later, the door opens. One of the porters like ushers Song into the room, politely but firmly says, "Have a good night, madam," and closes the door behind her.
I said I was just lost. Gosh, dang it.
You have a
Welcome
very
back,
bad
Song.
It was faster this time. I think they were expecting me.
Well, persistency is sometimes the key. And sometimes it's a picklock.
I mean,
When you're, oh sorry.
oh no, go ahead.
Oh.
Dang it, I disconnected. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was gonna say, when you'll get in, you see Azkara looking the smallest she has ever looked because she's in her bed and her knees are like she's in fetal position, so her knees are like all the way up to her chest, and she is like cold out, like she's fully asleep. She has like her blanket over her. She like has like a pillow to her chest, and she's just like looks the smallest you've ever seen her, like almost friendly, like almost approachable because she's like just curled up.
Oh, isn't that cute?
That is not a word I would originally use to describe her, but now I definitely would.
Yeah.
She looks so non-dangerous when she's sleeping.
You just see around the bed all of her like weapons just scattered. like
I was gonna say, like, she
belt,
rolls
like,
over
her
and you,
sword.
like 3 daggers clunk out from the pillow.
Okay, maybe not as cute as I thought.
Yeah.
Cute but deadly.
Oh, let's
Like-
go with that. Yeah.
Like a snapping turtle.
Everything's turtles. It's turtles all the way down.
Is there a phrase with like there must be some kind of phrase with like sleeping turtle, snapping turtle song. You work on it. I'm like I got halfway there. You take it home.
I think with all this, I'm going to go to my bed and go for a sleep. Cause yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a good time to get some rest.
Alright, well, see you all in the morning. We've got quite a journey ahead of us.
Indeed you do. Okay, so we're just gonna cut to the next morning. Everyone got a good night's rest. And the airship lands with no issues or anything like that. And you are at the Uganchampa Monastery, where the path to get up to the Oracle starts.
So we see very clearly, like probably, there was maybe someone on the ship who, knew Rosalie, so they would have kind of told us, hey, this is where you're going or whatever.
Not really. They just like, you know that this is your stop, and they like let you off at the landing pad, and or the tower rather, and you ride the elevator down. All of your stuff is waiting for you, and they just kind of hand you all your things that were packed, and bow and head back to the ship because, like I said, the ship is moving on to other places.
Okay, bows politely and thanks them for their hospitality before they leave.
Yeah, Scar will just give them a solemn nod.
Right.
Yeah, we'll kind of give a friendly salute and nod.
Okay.
Right.
Looking around, you're in kind of like a stone paved kind of courtyard area, and you can see this big kind of monastery temple type thing, kind of like set into the mountainside here, and then leading up, if you look up towards the main body of the temple complex, you can see this long kind of winding, what looks like just a cut or a crack in the stone leading up to a small little building way up at the top of the peak.
Well, I hope nobody here is afraid of heights.
Well, there might be one person that I know of, but I'm sure it's gonna be alright.
Can carry you if you get really scared. She's
Uh,
kind of giggling. This is like her first joke.
So, OK pulls out the map. I'm pretty sure I have a map of this area that I collected.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Smart.
And just check to see if that is the most direct route or if there is possibly any shortcuts.
There is only one way to get to the Oracle, and that is taking that long winding pathway.
Well, I guess taking the long way. Or what's also known as the only way.
So looking back down, you can see kind of down the mountain is just one of those staircases, like the endless staircase kind of thing, going all the way down to the bottom of the mountain, that you would have had to like climb up probably over the course of more than one day had you not gotten the airship.
Oh boy.
Haha! Money solves a lot of problems.
Yeah. That'd have been one just hell of a journey. I've not seen that many stairs in my life.
It's the first time I'm seeing it too. Wow.
So, yeah, perhaps we should start making our way towards the hut on the edge of the cliff. If anybody else wants to, or shall we do something else?
I think we can start making our way there.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
At the base
Does it
of
seem
the
like there are like
footpath.
outposts or anything?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
as you get through the actual monastery itself, and it's a it's a living monastery, but it's also kind of a tourist attraction. So there are small groups or small numbers of people just kind of like going about their daily tasks. There's like somebody sweeping the courtyard. There's a couple people doing like meditation that you can see inside one of the buildings, and there's some other people just kind of like milling around and looking at everything. There's nobody's preventing you from going anywhere. Everybody's just kind of like meditative. And as you walk through the complex, you get to the base of the path, and it is just, there's some stairs in certain sections that are steeper. Other parts of it are just a smooth, like kind of dirt trail. And you can see on each one of the places where the path kind of like switches back or makes a sharp turn, there's a little bit of a widened flat area with a little like just a tiny little like 2 foot tall kind of shrine thing at it. And you get the idea that if you needed to take a rest at any point, that would be a good place to, like, you know, lay out a blanket and just get off your feet for a minute.
I have a question.
Okay.
My cast point and cart, would I have to leave them down here, or is there a point up there where, is there any point up here where I would have to leave them?
Yeah,
I
your
could-
cart is
or would
not
I
going to
not
make
be
it
able to
up
get up
there,
any of
but
these?
there are some stables here that will, you know, care for the things while you're gone.
Okay, yeah. Then I'd leave them there and kind of pet Juno on the head, and you know, feed her a mushroom and say, "I'll be back."
She kind of like ruffles and squawks a little bit.
Song's heart breaks just a little bit. Just a little.
Oh,
All right. So are you guys starting up the trail?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Let's do
think
this.
Ascara's
Yeah.
pretty she's pretty eager to get up there because, you know, this is the mission they've been given, and she kind of thinks that this will give her more answers. You know, we're supposed to get this oracle, find something else. So she is starting off strong. You know, she is weaponed up, she has all her stuff on her, and she is just probably striding a little bit ahead of the group. She's aware of them, so she'll, you know, look back and see and check on them and wait around for them. She's not trying to go too far ahead, but she definitely has that kind of like eager energy of, okay, this is what we're here to do and we're doing it.
Okay. All of you have better than average constitution. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you all roll either athletics or acrobatics, just in the open, and I'll take a total of that, and that'll be how far you move.
Okay.
right.
So which one, athletics or acrobatics?
Whichever
Doesn't
one you
matter.
prefer.
I have a +3 in athletics, so I'm gonna do that one.
Wow, 3 18s.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are about it. So Oki and Riel are just, you know, they're moving quickly because they're being, you know, more graceful, like they're putting their feet down. They're not, you know, kind of they're stepping more lightly, we'll say it that way. And the other three of you are kind of just beasting it out, like you never skip leg day, so this is fine for you. So yeah, you start hiking up, and you get to the first trail marker, and then you keep going, and you get to the second trail marker, and you keep going, and you get to the third trail marker, and you can see there are only 2 more trail markers before you get to the actual place where the oracle is. And so far, it's taken you about 3 or 4 hours.
Ascara will start up, and then she'll turn around and check on her group and say, are we good to go all the way up, or do we need to stop?
Maybe a second to catch our breath. But how are you guys feeling about this? I'm feeling pretty good, but I don't want to burn out by the time I get up there.
As soon as Song says that, she'll just like sit down, like take out her bedroll, like she's okay, one person is good, wants to stop, so we're stopping. She's kind of like making an effort here, so she takes out her bedroll, lays it down, sits on it, and kind of figures, okay, this is what we're doing.
Okay. You guys are all going to just take a load off for 15 minutes or so?
He's going to like take in the sights, you know, because he's never seen anything like this before.
I was about to say, like, what's the view like up here?
It is pretty freaking impressive. You are basically on one of the highest mountains in this part of the world. The analog to the area that you're at would be like the Tibetan mountains, right? Like you're basically climbing up above Shangri-La right now. It's just the scale of what you can see, and the amount of, I mean, you can see so far that like you can actually see the curvature of the earth in the distance, kind of deal. I mean, you are just, this is a breathtaking height to be able to see things from, and the air is very clear. You know, there aren't. It's.
Is it
I mean, it's
cold?
pretty cold.
Okay.
Oki's like, wow, not a single piece of ice in sight. This is awesome.
Song's teeth are chattering. Like,
It's not.
audibly.
It's not that cold. It's maybe like 55.
She came
Oh,
from
she
the
did come from
desert.
Oki feels nothing because this is nothing compared to the polar region. So
Yeah, Oki, you're like, man,
You're
it's
right
hot out
there,
today.
Song.
yeah, it's warm.
This is fine. It's fine. It's nothing to worry about.
I don't know. Oki offers he's got like a big kind of fur jacket that he's going to offer Song. See if she would take it.
Grabby hands from Song. Just like, please, thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
It wraps around her about 8 times.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I'm assuming this is like the full-on like tundra, like knee-length, fur-lined.
Exactly what you'd think someone would wear in an ice place, basically. It's proper
Yeah.
fur-lined, warmest thing you'll ever get in your life.
She's like picking up the bottom of the jacket so it doesn't like drag on the ground. She's like, no, this is so comfy.
All right. Anything else? Anybody want to do while they're here?
I think I'd like to attempt to make some root tea while we're here.
Okay, you absolutely can do that. There's a little flat space.
Are there any nearby plants that look appealing, maybe?
Boy.
Any of us trained in survival?
Yeah, I am. I think.
Yes, I'm trained in survival.
Can I help someone who's trained in survival? Because I'm trained, but not amazing.
Yes. So Song is going to help. Who's doing the survival check?
I will be doing the survival check.
Okay, so just roll that with advantage.
Okay.
All right, so that's an 18. So you are able to find some roots that you know aren't poisonous. You don't really know how they're going to taste, but you know that's what boiling them's for, right?
Yeah. Ah, these look pretty good. Hope they taste as good as they look. And we're just gonna take some of them and start preparing tea with it.
Okay. Finishing up making your root tea there. It's not bad. It's a little bit sour, very earthy, kind of like almost like a rock, like a slate kind of taste.
Ah, this tea tastes much like the environment around it.
Yes.
Quite interesting.
There's
Would any
a
of you
lot
like
of
to try.
mineral. That's what I mean. It has a very strong mineral taste. There we go. I can words, I promise.
I see.
Azkara, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's a lot, but I'm good.
This eyes forward instead of down, right? That's what we gotta do.
Yeah. And she'll probably, if Aspen is passing out tea, she'll take I guess he has like little what is it called? Little like tin cups. Or whatever he's handing it out in. And she'll take one and sip on it. And again, she kind of like, she has this thing when you could see when she's actively stone facing. So like, you can't tell if she likes it or not. It's like she purposefully just doesn't want to let you know how she feels. So she's just drinking it.
How is the tea, Azakara?
Can't say I've had anything like it.
Neither have I. This is something outside of my area that I normally make tea in. So it's certainly an experience
Once you
for me.
say that, then some emotion comes back to her face because she couldn't tell if this was like a normal tea that you made or not. So once you're like, yeah, it's not my favorite either. Once you kind of let that on, then then you could see that she like has that like look on her face like she doesn't really like it all that much. She's like letting you see that now.
Perhaps next
And
time
she'll be
this
like,
tea will be better.
God, do I have to finish it?
I'll finish it if you won't. It's hot, right?
It should be.
Yeah, and she'll
It
just
is
like
hot.
hand it over to Song, yeah.
Takes a sip, kind of goes, blah, and keeps drinking.
All right, so the tea not a smashing success, but palatable. And refreshed and slightly warmed, you guys are all going to continue on your journey. So go ahead and again, athletics or acrobatics for me, just to see how quickly you move.
Oh boy, I feel like it's not gonna be that good this time.
Ah.
Natural 20.
I'm busy
wow.
trying to hold up this coat.
All right, that is going to total out to as good as you needed to get there. So, everyone, Riel, you're actually doing pretty well. As Kara and Song and Oki are puffing a little bit, looking a little bit winded. Aspen, you look actually more refreshed than you were when you were sitting down. You're just like, you're feeling it. You're great. You got that
The tea
that second
definitely
wind.
helped.
Yeah, I think Ascara has never been this high up, so the altitude is starting to get to her because she's really just been in that one town, maybe that's like in a valley and stuff. So she's never. It's not really the climbing, she can go forever, but it's the altitude. She's starting to feel like a little woozy, and yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so you make it up to the top here, and it's this kind of very tall, arched roof, domed, kind of circular structure, and there are attendants in like kind of these long flowing robes with these just white, featureless porcelain masks on. And one of them comes over to you as you get up to the top, and they kind of bring you to the inside. There's like a waiting chamber there, and there's like these big overstuffed pillows on the floor for you to sit down on. They offer you just fresh mountain spring water. There's nothing like, they're not offering you a whole meal or anything, but just something to kind of get the dust out of your throat. And none of them talk at all. One of them kind of passes over like a much handled piece of parchment that says, if you're here to visit the Oracle, please indicate which one of you would like to go first.
Quick powwow, everybody. What was... Did we decide on what questions we were going to ask? I know we need the identity of the you-know-who, but
We're supposed to go together.
I thought we were going together, but
Yeah,
it seems we are going to be separated.
I don't know if they'll let us, but we're supposed to.
Well, if we go as one, then that is only one person moving. Together.
Oh my gosh. I just figured it out. Figured it out.
What is that, Bill? What you figured out?
Okay. Hericium erinaceus. It will go great with the seal jerky. It has a pungent flavor and a savory aftertaste.
oh my
That's
god!
great, oh, that's great, Real.
You have no idea. I've been thinking about it all night. We were walking up. I was like, no, could it be Bolita Sedulis? No, it couldn't be that one. You're gonna love it. Yeah, we'll talk later. This is obviously we're more important things to deal with right now. The Oracle, right? What were you saying?
We could have asked the Oracle what their opinion on mushrooms that go with seal jerky would be, but I think we have an expert
Oh, she
here.
don't know a thing about mushrooms. I tell you, I'm the Mushroom King. She doesn't. She's smart in a lot of ways, I'm sure, but no disrespect or anything. I know we're in her domain, but I'm the Mushroom guy.
I respect the Mushroom King.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Can't wait.
much.
And
Anyway,
you can see that Song is not being sarcastic or facetious. She is just serious at this point. She says, "No, I respect this authority."
Askara kind of
but
stamps her foot a little bit and she's like, "We're going together. The question is how."
So you're all going to go
can you
together.
reread
So
the
you,
paper again? Like, what
well,
exactly
so
did it say? The paper.
it said please indicate who would like to speak with the Oracle right now.
All of us.
Okay.
Okay. As you tell them that you all want to talk to the Oracle at the same time, they you see actually like a reaction from this person just reading it in their body language. Like they're very surprised because everybody always wants to do this individually, and they like kind of quick step back over to the other group of attendants, and they have like just a very brief conversation in basically sign language because none of them talk at all. And then a different one comes out in a slightly more well-cut robe and comes over to you and hands you, instead of the paper that you had been handed before that looked like it had been handled a lot, this one looks like it's very deeply creased, and it looks like basically nobody ever reads this one. And they hand it to you, and it says, "You may all approach the Oracle. We were told to expect you."
Oh snap!
Hmm.
Oh wow.
Oh. Oh well. All right. Right. Then.
Well, I don't know why we're surprised. Oracle is supposed to know all, so yeah, but wow.
Okay. So they usher you to the only door in the place. Everything else is just like these big stone arches with like, some of them have like curtains or something, but the only actual door in the place. And they open the door and they usher you inside and then close the door behind you so that none of the attendants are coming in with you. Walking in, you're in this main room, and it basically takes up like 3/4 of the building, just for this one room. And there's set kind of up on a raised platform, just these pillars with like this very sheer silk curtain across the front, and you can see the silhouette of a woman kind of reclining on like a chaise, like a sitting couch kind of thing. Over what appears to be like some kind of steaming vent coming from the mountain below. And not with your ears, but in your mind, you hear a voice say, "Approach."
Oh.
Askara steps
Aspen-
forward. She's very like solemn.
Rio's eyes kind of go wide, like, oh, and then he kind of just he sees, starts step forward. He steps forward as well. It's like, oh, okay.
Song stands slightly behind Asgara.
If Askara notices that, she'll grab Song's hand and pull her forward with her. If I see her like lagging, or like drag her forward.
Aspen would step forward
And
with
I
a bit
just
of a
look at
chuckle.
her and just say,
watching this.
"Together."
Fine.
Okay. So as you all step forward, there's kind of like a kneeling bench right before the raised platform, and you all just know from somehow like this voice that was in your head that you need to like all of you just kneel on the bench at the same time to kind of like receive the vision.
Okay. Aspen will go and kneel on the bench.
Askara kneels. She's still very tall.
Okay, follows in suit.
Yeah, same. Rio would do the same.
Yeah, Song kneeling as well, still small.
No matter what we do, we'll do it together.
Okay. As the last one of you kneels down on the bench, suddenly your vision kind of like just fades out. right? So you're not seeing the world around you anymore. In your head, you see a bunch of dark-robed figures in a deep, like, cave lit with fire and torches, and they're all chanting in unison in a language that none of you understand. The two words that you can make out are Regara and Shajar, and I will post those in the chat in a moment. Then it kind of like zooms out of the cave. You get the impression of being like pulled up into the air from behind to a greater distance, and you see people. You see just this massive army forming and training, and all of them have the same two symbols embroidered on their breastplates and on their shields as the cultists did when they were chanting down in the cave. And then all of a sudden, each of you are split, and you each see a vision in your mind of the place where you're from, or the people who you care about. And you see these soldiers marching into that village or that town or that area and just burning and cutting people down and just generally being horrible and violent to all of the places that you care about. And then in the final part of this vision, before it kind of fades back into your normal sight, you see one person, the Incarnate, using all 5 of the lacing abilities to kind of drive back this army. And then you see him kind of sitting down with the leaders of this cult and the leaders of your respective clans and kingdoms, and like they're all like kind of bent over signing what looks to be like a contract or a peace treaty or something. And each one of you over the next week is going to be getting a little bit more that you saw that your other party members didn't, but that will actually come to you the next time you go to sleep in a dream. So for right now, that is what you've seen. There is a direct threat to Karatur. The words Regara and Shajar. There we go.
To be clear, I had a language that I think a few others didn't. It's not in that language.
This is not a language that anyone from Karatur speaks.
Okay. Cool, just checking.
All right. And with that, you kind of come back to yourselves, all still kneeling on the bench. You notice some stiffness in your shoulders and in your knees. And as you see the oracle is no longer there. You didn't hear or see any movement or anything like that, but there's no one on the bench anymore behind that silk screen. And the door kind of creaks open behind you, and you see one of the attendants out there kind of beckoning, and you notice now that there are a bunch of lamps lit and everything. You got here like mid-afternoon. It is now full dark. So it's been like a couple hours.
Anyone else's feet have totally just fallen asleep.
Scargus
Okay,
nods silently.
okay, kind of like rubs his 2 eyes and just goes, "Yeah, I can't feel my feet."
All right.
We're
I
just
stood
kind
with
of looking around at
Stan.
everyone, and his fists are kind of clenched, and he's just kind of looking around at everyone, but he's not saying anything.
Aspen just stands up and looks outside, a bit confused with the current situation.
All right. So as you're ushered back out into the waiting area, and then there's actually there's a small side passage that you didn't notice before. You just weren't looking around for it, and it leads to an area that just has like those like bedding mats, just kind of like pallets on the floor. And there's like one small little oil lamp in the room, and they just kind of like usher you in and leave the lamp there and like indicate the bedrolls to you. And then on the wall, there's a sign that reads, Traveler's Rest.
Oh, well, I'm taking a guess. They're suggesting we rest here.
Well,
Yeah,
it apparently
Scar
has
walks
been
in very like, oh sorry.
Sorry. It apparently has been a long day, so I suppose it is time for rest.
All right, that was a very long and strenuous day for you all. So you're going to basically just end up there. Do you want to just kind of pass out for now and talk about it in the morning, or do you want to talk about it while it's fresh?
Right.
Hmm.
I think Oki's gonna like mention that he saw a vision to his team, like of his hometown in the polar region in flames, and just kind of let everyone know like this has been bothering them, and like he feels like he must stop it. It's the only thing he cares about is his polar clan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't know about the rest of you, but I seem to have a similar vision to that. Hmm.
The Scar just nods.
And did anyone else here like? There's like two names. Let me.
Nods again.
I can't remember. Um, Raji and Shad and Racha. Don't get me that.
Would anyone like to make a check to see if they can remember or if they already know anything about anything that they've seen in the visions?
I would, yeah.
Sure. What kind of check with?
Well, it's going to be up to you. Each of you is going to choose something that makes sense for your character to like know about from any of the scenes or the names or whatever in the vision. And we're just going to take it in the order that you are on the combat tracker this time. So Aspen, what were you kind of like focusing on in the vision that you might have more information than the other party members about, or something that you're specifically good at?
Uh, that's a good question because I think Aspen would mostly just care about his homeland, not so much the names of the people, nor much information about the army that he saw.
Okay. So hold on. What so you have the wood element. So let's go with nature. Let's see if you can pinpoint a little bit more what season or what time it might have been in that vision when this stuff was going down. So go ahead and make a
Okay.
nature roll for me.
Ooh. 19.
Okay, so it is currently. What did I say? It was spring. I think I said it was spring when you guys all kind of started out, and it looks like you can see kind of like half melted snow on the ground in some of these areas, and you know that that would really only be the case in the vast swamp if it was kind of the end of winter, because it would have taken a long time for it to cool down enough in the swamp to actually like have snow stick.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I think Oki would have been more focused on the fact that he's seeing the polar region on fire. Fire is really hard to keep going in the polar region because of the kind of like temperature and obviously how cold it is. So I think he was more focused on basically the fact that his entire town was under attack.
Okay. So you were looking specifically at the fire and kind of wondering around about that. So why don't we have you roll perception to try and figure out like how a town made of ice can burn.
Yeah. That didn't roll for some reason. Something rolls, but
Okay.
oh
you remember as you think back to the vision that the fires weren't being started by people like throwing torches or even fire lacing or anything like that, but it's some kind of like, you noticed some of those cultists in the dark robes, and they were basically like forming these kind of purplish, reddish, almost like a liquid fire, and then throwing it onto things, and it burns basically everything it touches. So it's some kind of like, just you get this really sickly, like evil feeling from this fire that was happening.
Right. Sounds good.
Okay, Riel.
I think that Riel, since he spends a lot of his time, like he spends a lot of his time, being a merchant and like kind of doing that, and he sort of is a lot of what he does is like tries to pick up on people and like what they're thinking and that kind of thing. I think that he would have been trying to like look at to see 'cause once he saw what these people were doing and that they're clearly like really bad, he would sort of be trying to recall like what if they were like what when they were doing what they were doing, were they like deriving pleasure from it, or did they seem like focused, or just trying to kind of get a read on like where their mind is at, like what is this kind
Okay.
of thing, because he doesn't really
So
know
you are going to roll insight to try and get a feel for what these guys are thinking about or how they're feeling about what they're doing then, right?
yeah. No, just right
Yep.
on
Insight in the
chat.
open. Okay. With that, you notice that some of the soldiers, like in these groups, there will be like a squad, right? It'll be made up of like however many soldiers, and then the captain of that squad will have like more ornate armor, like a more ornate helmet, and they have like kind of the same colors, like that purplish red, kind of evil to them, kind of like almost glowing from their eyes. And you can see that instead of like a sword or an axe or anything, these guys actually have like these giant spiked whips that they will use on their soldiers if the soldiers don't keep doing what they tell them to. So basically, the soldiers, they don't really like, they don't agree. They're just terrified of their captains, which is
Oh, wow.
their main motivation.
This is so evil with a capital E is what you're saying.
Song.
Song was looking for the Incarnate. Um, she wants to see if she can recall their face.
Okay, so that is going to be, no, it's going to be perception. Because
Okay.
you were trying to focus. The Incarnate was kind of like a fuzzy figure, like it was the outline, the silhouette of the Incarnate. You could tell that it was like a middle-aged person, very strong. It was a male, or at least dressed like one. And you're going to go ahead and roll perception to see what else you could see.
Nope.
So it was like kind of a fuzzy outline of a guy wearing, standard lacers clothing. For some reason, you couldn't really see the person. You got the impression, you knew it was the Incarnate, and you kind of, your brain put together a picture of a person that is what the Incarnate would look like to you. But that is kind of a clue in and of itself, is that you never really saw a person's face or any distinct physical features on this character.
Guys, I think we got. I think we got screwed.
And Azkara.
So I think Askara's focused. So this whole vision that she sees, right? To her, it's kind of crazy because she's been told her whole life that this would happen. Hey, people are gonna, come and invade your town. This is what's gonna happen. This is what she's been training for. But she kind of almost didn't believe it because it never happened and the world had been at peace. And so when she sees this, her main focus is, I guess, she wants to know what could have caused this change. And it's almost like she's trying to see how do I put this? She's trying to see the raw kind of human motive of what made these humans be like this. And
Okay.
my idea was to use intimidation for this, but I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes
I
any
actually was
sense at
thinking the
all.
same thing.
Because,
So you're going to use intimidation because,
okay.
and the reason for this, I have a way for this to work. You are using your intimidation roll to counter just that sense of fear and dread and terror that these visions inspired in everyone
she's
else,
trying
basically,
to
right?
understand. Yeah, I kind of thought of it as she's trying to understand their intimidation, as in like she sees them being intimidating, but she wants to know what's behind that intimidation, if that makes
Absolutely.
sense.
So go ahead and roll intimidation.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So with that, as you're kind of like trying to recall different points in the visions, and you do see a little bit more clearly in that first room with all the people chanting and praying and everything. There were four people kind of standing up on a little raised platform with these two kind of like statues. That they seem to be like kind of basically the object of some sort of worship or whatever, and the four people on the platform were actually facing the rest of the crowd. They weren't facing the statues like everybody else was. So you get the impression that maybe this is some sort of like basically like a cult, that there are people leading this, and kind of like the orders all come down from the top through the different levels kind of deal. But you definitely got like a very like bad, like dark religious vibe from this group.
Okay.
All right. So you
I think
guys,
as soon
since we
as
did
I
all this
get
in the
that,
open,
I
I'm just
just knock out.
okay. I was gonna say, I'm assuming since we did all this in the open that you guys had, you chatted about all this with each other. Did anyone withhold their
Yeah.
specific thing that they saw, or no?
No. Okay, never.
No.
Nah, Ria would share.
Ascara would have used very little words, but anybody watching her could see that she's just become very drained. And so they probably assume, that she'll tell them later, but it's like she's very restrained right now. And she just, knows she has to lay down and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. So you all go ahead and get your rest, and the next day it'll take you pretty much the whole day to get back down to the monastery. And now you have the monastery itself. You didn't really explore it all that much, but they do have a very large library. It's a scroll library, but it's very large. It contains a lot of information. A couple of the monks are pretty good at research and history and that kind of thing. So you have some information that you can kind of search out here and try to connect the dots with your vision and come up with a plan and decide what your first step is going to be. So I'll let you guys think on that a little bit. We're going to take a 7-minute break. We'll be back at 20 till.
Right, cool. See you soon, guys.
See you then.
Okay, and we're back. So we are at the monastery.
So I assume we all just eventually, wake up and kind of realize where we are and stuff like that.
Yep, I mean it's been you've done a lot of work in the last couple days, climbing all the way up there, and then getting the vision, and then climbing all the way back down, and so you all kind of slept in a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but ready to go now to do some research. So
So,
Right.
yeah, go for it.
sorry, I was just clarifying. So the like the library where the research and stuff is, like that's in a different place. I was a little bit confused at, like where it was located in
No, 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 no.
like.
So there is a standard library in back towards where you started, but there's a library here that has more like kind of like the ancient texts kind of thing. So it's not like a
Oh, okay.
research library. It's more like a historical / religious library. And while this is all fresh in your mind, this might be a good place to try and clarify a few points for yourselves.
For
But
sure. Okay.
I think what OK will want to do is he's probably, well, if this is all about history, perhaps this cult that creates this purple fire is something that's appeared in history before, and he's really wanting to research this kind of fire that actually puts ice buildings, like stays on ice buildings and makes it look like they're on fire, which is obviously should be impossible.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, Rio would be looking up something having to do with, because like what a large part of like what he got out of his was like the fact that they were using like a lot of these like more, I guess, higher in authority people were like using control and like fear as a mechanism. So he's gonna kind of look up like, are there any uh groups or any kind of thing, like he just wants to look up anything having to do with like a group using like that, so those sort of tactics as a way to get people to do what they want.
Okay.
If that made any sense.
Well, Song hasn't been in a. Mhm. Well, Song hasn't been in a library before, so she's probably going to ask one of the people who is there if they can find information on sort of like the history of the incarnate, like like a scholarly article or something that she probably wouldn't be able to comprehend, but maybe if she gave it to the right person, they'd get it.
Okay. Aspen, Askara, are you?
Um, yeah, sorry, I was just muted because dogs are barking. But I think Askara, right before she went to sleep, she would have written down that those two words that she saw, Ragara Shaja. She would have wrote that down because she likes to write a lot of stuff down, and she would just take that and hand that to the library attendant, and see if they lead her anywhere.
Okay.
I think I'll probably just ask them around for some books of history and then try to find my way around. Maybe like try to find some similar things to what we saw in the vision with the army.
Okay. So based on that, you find out some information, and I'm going to post a link for you uh, in my cabbages, which is our Discord chat. And what you are finding out is that this is Ragara and Shajar are two of the gods from the pantheon of the neighboring area, Zakara. And what it says there is that Ragara is the goddess of the jungle and all of its violent denizens, passion, chaos, and revenge. She's one of the two savage gods worshipped in the jungles of eastern Zakara, which is basically now the ruined kingdoms, for any of you that are more familiar with the wider world here. And Shajar is the god of the Nagaro River. He was Ragara's consort, and he was the other one of the two savage gods that were worshipped in the ruined kingdoms. you see some like sketches of statues and icons dedicated to these two gods, and they do match the things that you saw in the vision. The symbol that was on the the breastplates and the shields and the cultist robes and all that kind of thing. And those of you that were looking up like areas where this kind of thing has happened before, again, the savage gods were worshipped in the eastern jungles of Zakara, which is your kind of neighboring country to the southwest of Karatur. And the two are separated by the mountain range that you currently are in, which is basically impassable most times. Those of you who are looking for stuff on the Incarnate specifically, basically all they have here, because again, the research on the Arcane and the Incarnate and lacing and all that kind of stuff would be in Pingchao City, which was the great university city that I told you guys could go to later. But what they have here is basically just like a list of the Incarnates in the past and their notable deeds for each one, right? So it's just like this one giant long scroll, and it'll have like the name of the Incarnate, the years that they acted as the Incarnate, and like any of their notable deeds.
Okay.
Alright. So, I take it when I was looking through and I find this information on these new gods that I'm reading about from the other country, that's where I find out that they're related to the fire. I take it, yeah.
Right, because it's the god and goddess of chaos and passion and violent destruction and that kind of thing. So it's not really fire per se, it's more just like it's straight chaos that they're shooting, and it basically it does crazy stuff like make ice burn, right?
Right, cool. Understood. So everyone, with this information that we've gathered, I'm going to assume that we've probably shared the information we've found. So, like, what does everyone think of this? This is these people shouldn't really be. It's the ruined cities. There's maybe no one there. It's maybe deserted.
If it's deserted, then that would be easier to investigate, right?
I don't know. This army looks like they're got these like from a time that doesn't exist yet. I'm nearly sure that my vision was the future.
Well, they were in your hometown in the future, which is hundreds of miles to the northeast from where they are now.
Yeah. So these people shouldn't really exist, according to this kind of thing. They're like ancient pantheons.
Well, the thing that the first two parts of the vision were basically, the cult of the savage gods is back and they're building an army.
No.
Like that's the conclusion that you could come to through your research.
Right.
They traveled so far and in such great numbers.
And for what reason?
So if you do a little bit more research, it's the people who truly believe in this cult they basically think that anyone weaker than them deserves what they get. And the more violent they can be about it, the better.
So,
I'm trying to come up with just all different ways to say they're just really evil people, but I think I'm running out.
Yeah.
I kind of eventually gathered that. Right.
Yeah, I think Ascara, finding out all of this, she's looked very different kind of stone face. It's more very like solemn and like harrowed and a bit scared. Maybe Brielle can notice that she has that kind of like fearful look. And what she'll say to the group is that I don't think we're ready to confront this. Clearly, from what we saw, we need the Incarnate. I think our efforts are best focused on finding them. And if anything comes up with this, we will have to try our best to prevent it. But I don't think we're strong enough for this. She kind of trails off and gets quiet, and you can hear that fear in her voice.
I I also don't think we're ready. Uh, I think finding the incarnates the our top priority. These these people, a lot of these people that were fighting, and these soldiers were they they were acting themselves out of fear. Uh, I don't know how to. Yeah, the this is horrible. We've got to figure out how to find the incarnate. That's our top priority. It seems like.
Okay.
Hmm.
So then you guys will be looking um, to get to Pingchao City. That'll be your next destination if you want to do more research on where the incarnate was last seen, if they've chosen a new incarnate yet, or anything like that. Because remember, the last incarnate just kind of like disappeared a while ago.
Yeah, I think so. I think at least Ascara would make that clear that that's what she wants to do. Even though they're, fairly close to this region, they could cross the mountain and go into this region. She doesn't think that's the smartest thing. She thinks Pingchao City is probably the way to go.
Okay. So is that that's what your group wants to do? They want to go find the incarnate.
I
Yeah.
think the Incarnate is the only one that can save us from this. So
Do we do a vote, or is everyone pretty much on the same page?
Pingchao.
There's one person in a sea of millions. How hard could it be?
Well, I would just like to say, over all this conversation we're having amongst ourselves, it seems that all of you don't seem very confident in your ability to grow into something more than what you are now.
It's it's an army of purple red flame savage god worshipping cultists.
I understand that we may not be able to take on the whole army ourselves, but I also feel like the incarnate by himself alone can't take on the whole army.
But he at least can unite each of our nations, to back him up and form their own militant response to this threat. And I mean, at least that's how it went in all the different stories I've heard. um but we're just, no offense to anyone here, but we're just 5 people.
We may be just 5 people, but just a few little bugs can go a long way in the circle of life.
Yeah, and a few little bugs can get squashed.
And if they do, they'll become something useful to perhaps something else.
Well, perhaps Aspen has some wisdom in there, because as long as we try to stick together, surely the 5 of us can at least make an impact. Even if we find the Incarnate, it still means that we've done it. I'm sure that if we stick together, we can get this done.
Song snaps her fingers and she says, "Oh, it's like the story about the stick versus the bundle of sticks. It's harder to break a bundle of sticks than it is to break one stick. I get it. I'm picking this up."
Exactly.
Wait, who's the bundle of sticks in the scenario?
All of us are a bundle of sticks.
So there's multiple bundles of
Just
sticks.
one.
One. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So even if we
Yeah.
feel like we're not able to do much, I believe each and every one of you will grow into something more powerful. And together with the Incarnate, we can stop this army that approaches.
Hey, Ping Chao wasn't burnt in a day.
Ha! Well, you've got a point. And
So-
if we don't do it, who's going to?
So we're looking for the Incarnate, but confidently. She looks very dubious.
Oki's like mood, like has been lifted. Feels more motivated due to Aspen's words. More confident, yeah. Do this.
Okay.
Right, so finding the Incarnate now.
So, coming down out of the mountains, the nearest major kind of city is going to be Seikung, which is the capital of the Arakan province, which is where you guys are now. And that would be probably the best way for you to get, like, you know, a vehicle of some sort, instead of just walking across half the continent. So you would be headed to... Seikung, the capital city of Arakan.
So, I take it this is like, well, guys, let's just start making our way. You know, it's a lot of stairs we've got to go back down.
It is a lot of stairs. However, one helpful but slightly deranged monk has built a slide next to the stairs.
Oh my god.
All of my yes. Me first. Sign me up.
He offers you a very battered burlap sack and laughs excitedly while clapping his hands and points to the slide.
Yes.
I'm just going to, if I can, try to make a box fitting for the slide. A more safer means of traveling.
There is no way to make this safe. It's a nearly vertical cliff.
Yes, but I'm just making a box of wood just to be more secure than a sack.
I have 11 hit points.
We're going to need that box.
Okay. So you construct something that looks kind of like a luge sled or a bobsled that you all can kind of fit into. Are you all let's take a vote first. Are we committed to taking the slide, or would you rather walk down the stairs?
Aspen is excited for the slide.
Hey, slide. Say this slide works better, faster, cheaper.
It's 4-1.
Rio's kind of trying to like hide his like excitement, but he's kind of like, this is kind of cool. Like he's this is pretty.
Real, quick question: if we take this, what's happening with your cart?
It'll fit in the bobsled. just this once.
Well,
Because
his
I
cart
forgot
was
about
never
that.
up
I
there
forgot
with
about
us.
that
His
when I
cart
made this
was
up.
never
So
with us.
I what?
Okay.
His cart was at the bottom, remember?
It's at the
no.
bottom.
This is This is a different. You guys are at the monastery right now, where you left the cart. This is the steps that go down off the entire mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, the ones that we came up from, like with the ship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You never had to climb up these stairs, and there's a lot more of them than the last set.
Oh, we started. Sorry. Okay, we started like part way up.
You
So
started
my
about
cart
3/4
is
of the way up the mountain. Your cart is here. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Oh, then okay. I would go down. I would go down with, I guess that way, if that's the way I have to do it. Yeah. Oh,
All right.
wait.
So,
Yeah, I
who
guess I-
is, who's, what are your positions in the
Front.
the slide?
Front.
Smallest to biggest, I say.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I want to change my answer because I've thought about this a little bit more now. Originally, Ascara was going to get in the cut, but I think what she would like to posit to the group, and she tells this to everyone, is what if, no wait here.
Mm,
What?
Like, what if what?
You cut off a little bit there at the end, Esquire. What did you say? What if what?
Oh, she wants to go down to kind of like maybe try and find a way to soften their landing at the bottom.
Oh,
For us
there's
to
a
go
big
ahead of
sand pit
them
at the
for some
bottom.
way.
The crazy monk assures you the landing part is perfectly safe.
So,
Oh. Hmm.
so I have one question. Perhaps we could put Real at the back and he can use his airbending to make us go faster. We'll get there faster.
Oh, that sounds
Oh
perfect.
boy.
Fast.
I don't
I wanna
think
go
faster's a
fast.
problem. I
You
think
said
we need to put
incline?
Riel in the front and have him slow us down.
That makes more in the front. Okay, well, I don't
No.
want
Okay,
to be
the
in the front either.
So, who is our wood lacer?
Aspen is our wood lacer.
Aspen is our wood lacer. So Aspen, roll a. Hold on, I had something for this. Let me find it.
Oh boy.
Yes, there it is. So roll a d20 and add 4 to it. And this is for you to kind of like build the sled that you're going to use out of the available wood that they have here. You're going to use your wood lacing to kind of like build the sled that you're going to ride in.
Could I perhaps also use some of my torches?
You are using your lacing ability for this. So yeah.
Okay. That's 5, that's 4.
plus 4.
No,
Plus 4.
Plus 4.
plus 4,
Yeah.
sorry, that's 13.
Yeah,
Oh.
so it's 13. Okay, so you have a rough but very serviceable, very sturdy. It's a lot bulkier than you. This is not like a this is not like a Ferrari here. This is like a tugboat, but it looks like it's gonna hold
Yeah.
together pretty well.
It's basically just a carved out log.
Okay. Oki, what are you contributing to this effort?
So I'm trying to think of a way to use water lacing to like reinforce the boat, but I'm trying to figure. Well, sorry, the bobsleigh, but I'm not 100% sure on how to go around doing it.
So what you could do is you could make like a couple of like, what are they called? Outriggers, like things that come out to the sides with ice to like kind of stabilize the thing as it goes down the slide.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had in my mind. I just didn't know how to say it. Yeah. So it's something that kind of makes us fit a bit better into the slide.
Yeah, it'll keep you from like rolling over, basically.
Yeah.
So you are going to roll, yeah, d20 plus 4 to use your lacing abilities.
I've got bad feeling.
You are drawing a crowd at this point. Like a couple of the monks are looking at the crazy monk, like just laughing and clapping his hands and jumping up and down and looking at you like, are these people insane? Like,
I'd like to offer the crazy monk a ride in the log.
he's like,
sled.
no, I'm not riding on this. No, what do you? I might be crazy, but I'm not that crazy.
Right, so I got
And
a
the
12.
sack is
Okay,
safer.
so you get they're very stumpy again, not very beautiful, but you do get kind of like an arm with a runner on the bottom on each side of this thing to kind of it's both reinforcing the structure of the sled and also kind of like keeping it from tipping, to the side.
And Oki kind of goes, well, I know it's not elegant, but it should work. Yeah.
Riel.
Yeah. Riel, was it Song that suggested he get in the front?
She
Perfect.
suggested he gets in the back so that he speeds it up, but then I
Well-
suggested you go in the front to slow it down.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gonna kind of like,
Dan.
I'll get in the front. like to slow it
Song's
down.
shoulders just slump.
It's okay. Oki's did as well.
Aw.
He kind of just like taps like pet Song on the shoulder and like, you can next time you ride on your own, you can speed it up.
When you ride on your own.
It would probably take you like a week to climb back up to the top of where you are right now.
Do it
Not gonna,
again.
not
Do
gonna
it
lie.
again.
That's what I was going to shout if we landed safely.
There's no way Riel is trying. He's terrified of this thing. This, he's just, yeah. Like he's
Okay,
excited.
so-
He was excited at first, but built this whole thing, and he's just like, oh my gosh, like.
All right, so Riel, you're gonna roll d20 plus 4, and this is to kind of create a cushion, like a bubble of air inside the thing, to like kind of like airbags, basically.
We went down.
Oh
One.
my god, the roll.
Oh no.
It just gets worse and worse.
It's 11. So
Just
you
barely-
successfully create. The problem is, it's like really windy inside because you weren't able to stabilize the air very well. So it's definitely going to cushion you, but now you kind of can't see very well.
Oh no.
Song.
What was the question?
You are going to roll.
What? Enthusiasm. I'm going to roll enthusiasm plus 4.
You are going to roll a d20 plus 2. And what position are you? You're in the
Okay.
front, you said? Or no, you're not.
I'm not, cause that I don't know where I am.
So you're going to roll.
Am I pushing?
You're
Is
gonna
that what
steer.
What this is gonna be?
You're going to steer. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You're
great.
going to use your earth lacing to kind of like.
I don't have earth lacing.
Sorry, you are fire?
I am a thief.
You're a thief.
I'm
You're
a
gonna
literal
steer.
rogue.
You're gonna steer.
Do I at least get sleight of hand?
That's the same. It's the same bonus. So you're gonna roll a d20 plus 4, and this is going to tell you how well you can steer.
Please be good.
Yay!
Okay. So Song, in addition to being very enthusiastic, seems strangely confident in piloting this thing that has never existed before.
Don't worry, guys. I don't know how to drive, but I bet I could drive this. Doesn't look hard. I've played tons of Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. What is that?
It's this strange game that we came up with in the sands where we put ourselves in boxes and let goats pull us around, and we would like throw things at each other, like banana peels and strange tortoise shells that we had found. It was a race.
No wonder you like turtles. I understand your love for turtles now. Like, you're going to be a good pack.
Turtles are the best.
All right, Askara, as the more cautious and level-headed of the group here, I can't really think of a way that fire would benefit you. However,
Well,
you have managed to
I think
convince them
my-
to fit a brake, a hand brake, to this device that
Oh,
you could use to slow it
my
down.
gosh.
great. I
So
think that
you-
my other role, the other thing I was gonna do is basically try to hold down as many. I was gonna be the seatbelt, as in I was gonna try and hold down as many people as I could. So basically, once I get in, I just try to like grab as many people as I can, be it by their clothes or like Song. I basically just try to like, like I tuck her under one of my arms, like because she's so small. Well, she's staring, but I like hold on to her. I'm just trying to hold people down, but also
Okay.
break. Break is good.
Yeah, so you have, like, sitting kind of in between your legs is like this big hand lever joystick kind of thing that your job basically is going to be, when you start getting to the bottom, you're just going to crank back on this thing with all the strength that you have to try and slow yourself down before you get all the way to the
Right.
bottom. So go ahead, and
Okay.
you're actually going to roll a d20 plus 5 because you have a higher modifier for this
Okay.
than they did.
I just click like the modifier at the bottom, the plus
Yeah, you
5,
can
right?
use the plus 5 button.
Okay.
All right. So, getting in, you give a few test tugs on the lever. It resists strongly. You're satisfied with how sturdy this brake feels. And basically what it is as you pull up, there's like a paddle on the back that just presses against the ground to create drag, but it won't tip the thing over or anything like that. Well, it might have, but you have outriggers now, so it won't. And with that, are we ready?
Oh my gosh, so
Yes.
ready.
Okay. The crazy monk, as you all kind of like settle in and you're getting your bearings, and Song's like, you know, kind of gripping the sides of the outriggers where she can kind of like push them to one side or the other. Somehow, magically, there's also a cart and a beast of burden in this thing with you guys. I don't know. It just works.
With the power of anime.
Oh, wow.
And
we always toss a much more to the crazy monk and like wink.
and he just pushes you over the cliff. Like, no warning. He just gives a great heave and just pushes you straight over the cliff.
Song is straight up screaming.
So as you start just rushing faster and faster down this slide, and it's like, you know, it's when they cut out the steps, they had like the area on the side where they were sliding the building materials up and down, so it's kind of worn smooth from all of this stone and everything being hauled up to the monastery and all that kind of thing, and you're just picking up speed and you're going faster and faster and faster, and then as you start approaching the bottom, you see like a painted white line kind of fly past you, and then another one flies past you, and they seem to be getting closer and closer together as you reach like kind of the bottom of this slide. And you're going probably a good, like, you know, 80 miles an hour here. Like, this is the fastest any of you have ever gone in your life. Ascara, you pulling on that brake?
Yeah, I think maybe she misses like the first line, but once she realizes that there are more of them, she takes them as like a indicator. So she pulls as basically as soon as she realizes that this is when they should be slowing down.
Okay. And Song, you've managed to keep your boat on this crazily narrow path. Riel, the air cushion has managed to like kind of keep everybody in. Oki, those outriggers, they're not pretty. They're getting kind of ground away. The thing's starting to rattle and shake a little bit from side to side, but they're still holding. Aspen, you're feeling just the stress on this wooden thing that you've created here, and like feeling the joints and the friction and everything start to heat up, and before you know it, this has all taken probably like, I don't know, maybe a full minute, probably not even. You just hit the bottom, and it kind of like it levels out towards the bottom, and you just kind of like slide, and then start, as soon as the front of the thing hits this big sand pit at the bottom, it just starts spinning around in circles, like horizontal spin.
I'm just gonna try to strap everyone in with the
I need everyone
remaining
to
wood.
roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
How do I do that?
Oh boy.
On the main tab of your character sheet,
Yeah!
on the right-hand side where it says Con.
Oh man.
Just roll that.
Yep.
Wait.
Oh man.
Everyone's
No.
like just rolling.
Sorry, 2 minutes. I had to just quickly deal with something. What do you say? It's a Constitution save, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. It's okay.
Oh, what?
So Oki, you're just having a great time. Song, you're still okay. You're a little, you know, this isn't the best thing as you slowly kind of rotate to a stop at the bottom here. This wasn't the most fun you've ever had. Riel and Aspen looking a little queasy. Ascara, you're feeling your stomach is just doing backflips. You have vertigo. The whole world is spinning. This is not a great ride.
I was thinking that because I had to like stand, because I had to stand to like pull, like I thought that I could stay sitting and like pull it, but I couldn't, so I had to stand, and that I kind of like fell off like right at the end.
Okay.
So like it's already slowing down, but I just kind of like tumbled out because I was like had to stand up. So
Okay.
I probably fall and roll a little bit, and yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's this nice kind of like soft, fluffy sand. It breaks your fall, and you nobody took any damage. That was insane. I'm very surprised that you guys chose to do that, even though it was a lot faster. I just kind of came up with it as a joke, but that was really fun. So thank you.
As soon as we come to a stop,
This
as
is
soon as we come
Incarnate
to a
Last
stop,
of the Light.
Aspen's just gonna kind of like pass out a little bit, and the whole construction that he built kind of just falls apart.
Oh yeah, no, like bits of it are just coming apart. The ice is gone. Like it's like just worn down to nubs that aren't even touching the ground. The wood
Yeah.
on the bottom is like smoldering from how much friction there was. The joints are like you can see through the sled in areas. But everybody came out unscathed. You know, not necessarily feeling great, but no damage was done. And so you guys have successfully finished the first step of your mission here. And the last thing that we're gonna do, we're actually gonna do this next part off stream. I'm gonna end this stream, and then we are all going to level up.
Oh!
Oh snap!
Okay, he's gone for another ride if that's for the case.
Well, this is more quest completion than surviving the slide, but
The
Yeah.
XP slide.
I was
So will we call this a difficulty slide there?
Maybe we'll get more XP if we do it with less people.
No, every
Maybe.
time we see a slide, we're gonna be like, we must go down it. We must.
I think as a
XP
car,
you're
depends.
tempting me to make more slides and to make them more difficult. I will make a whole slide minigame.
yes,
It's like Legend of Zelda. It's like we're gonna find the different slides all over the world, and we're just gonna ride on them.
that
It's gonna be
sounds
great.
amazing.
Get new high scores.
You're going to be walking and we're going to be walking.
That's some
around
new
town.
quests.
Do I notice any unusual slides?
Does the ground seem to pitch slightly downward at any point? Scoot,
a little
scoot, scoot.
insight on this slide.
I would like to persuade the slide to let us down it.
All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close the stream here. Thank you, everybody who tuned in, and we will be back in 2 more weeks.
Bye, guys.